What if I told you that a nation known for its manners and modesty was secretly the laboratory for some of the most chaotic food inventions in history? This is the place where a Greek immigrant decided to put tropical fruit on a pizza, sparking a global debate that has raged for 6 decades. It's where a chef reinvented sushi because his neighbors were terrified of seaweed. It's where someone decided the humble French fry was incomplete without cheese curds and a bath of thick gravy. And most surprisingly, it's where the world's most popular nut spread was first patented by a Montreal man using hot grinding plates back in 1884. We are talking about Canada. These are 10 foods created in the Great White North, and chances are at least one of them is sitting in your pantry right now. I'm Steven, and this is the Food Atlas. Hey, let's map this out. One, poutine is the dish that defines a nation, yet its origin is a mess of contradictions. The formula is simple: crispy fries, fresh cheese curds, and a dousing of piping hot brown gravy that softens the cheese without melting it away. That distinct squeak you hear when biting into the curd is the mark of authenticity. Born in rural Quebec during the late 1950s, at least 3 different eateries claimed to be the birthplace. For years, it was dismissed as lowbrow junk food. Even the name roughly translates to a mess. Quebec's elite once looked down on it. Today, it is celebrated in massive festivals from coast to coast and hailed as the national dish. 2. Hawaiian pizza. It isn't from Hawaii, and it definitely isn't from Italy. In 1962, Sam Panopoulos, a Greek immigrant running a diner in Chatham, when Ontario threw canned pineapple on a pizza just to see what would happen, he named it after the brand of pineapple on the tin. That's the entire origin story of the world's most polarizing meal. It grew into such a controversy that the president of Iceland once joked about banning it, causing a global internet meltdown. A small-town experiment with canned fruit became a worldwide war, and the man who started it all simply thought it tasted good. 3. The California roll. Contrary to the name, this roll wasn't born in the Golden State. In the late 1970s, Hidekazu Tojo, a Japanese chef in Vancouver, noticed his customers were hesitant to eat raw fish and put off by the look of black seaweed. Tojo's solution? He flipped the roll inside out. He hiding the seaweed under a layer of rice and substituting raw fish with creamy avocado and cooked crab. He named it the California roll because tourists from LA were the only ones brave enough to try it at first. Today, it's the universal gateway to sushi, invented in Canada to solve a local fear. Four, Montreal smoked meat. This is Canada's answer to the deli sandwich, and it's a century-long obsession. In the late 1800s, Jewish immigrants from Romania arrived in Montreal, bringing a tradition of curing and smoking beef brisket. While similar to New York pastrami, Montreal's version uses a distinct rub, heavy on the black pepper and coriander, and light on the sugar. The gold standard is found at Schwartz's Deli, where the lines have been constant since 1928. There is no fancy menu. You sit at a communal table and order medium fat on rye. It's a point of fierce national pride that rivals any deli in the world. 5. Peanut butter. Yes, the foundation of the PB&J is a Canadian patent. In 1884, Marcellus Gilmore Edson, a Montreal chemist, patented a method for milling roasted peanuts between 2 heated surfaces until they became a paste. While famous names like Kellogg later popularized the product, the legal birth certificate belongs to Quebec. Americans consume hundreds of millions of pounds of it annually, often unaware that their favorite pantry staple was a Canadian breakthrough in food engineering. 6. Butter tarts. The butter tart is perhaps Canada's most ancient original dessert. It's a flaky pastry shell filled with a gooey, caramelized mix of butter, sugar, and egg. And the debate over whether to include raisins or pecans has actually divided households for generations. The first written recipe appeared in Ontario around 1900, but it was a staple in pioneer kitchens long before that. In Ontario, you can even follow a butter tart trail. The rule is simple. The filling must be runny. If it's firm, a Canadian will likely tell you that you've done it wrong. 7. Nanaimo bars. 3 distinct layers, 0 baking required. This treat is named after the city of Nanaimo on Vancouver Island. It features a chocolatey, coconut graham base, a thick middle of custard-flavored icing, and a smooth chocolate ganache on top. First appearing in a 1953 community cookbook, the city has fully embraced its legacy with sculptures and Nanaimo bar flavored everything. Why it is the ultimate no-bake success story that turned a small island town into a destination for the sweet-toothed. 8. Ginger beef. This is a staple of Chinese-Canadian cuisine that you won't find in China. In the 1970s, Chef George Wong at the Silver Inn in Calgary reinvented a traditional Peking beef dish for the local palate. He sliced the beef into strips resembling French fries to make it familiar to Western diners, deep-fried them for crunch, and coated them in a sweet, zesty ginger glaze. It was a masterpiece of immigrant adaptation that became one of the most popular orders in the country. 9. Pea meal bacon. The world calls this Canadian bacon, but if you use that term in Toronto, people will know you're not from around here. In the 1800s, Toronto meatpackers cured pork loins and rolled them in ground yellow peas to preserve them. The peas were eventually replaced by cornmeal, but the pea meal name remained. The classic way to eat it is sliced thick on a soft Kaiser roll at Toronto's St. Lawrence Market. It's lean, juicy, and uniquely Canadian. Just don't call it by its American name. 10. The Halifax Donair. This is the only food on the list that is legally a municipal food. In the 1970s, Greek immigrant Peter Gamoulikos was struggling to sell traditional lamb gyros in Halifax. To suit local tastes, he swapped the lamb for spiced beef and created a unique sweet sauce made from condensed milk, sugar, garlic, and vinegar. The Halifax Donair was born. In 2015, the city officially gave it a legal title. It is a Turkish concept adapted by a Greek immigrant to satisfy a Canadian city. Every one of these foods tells the same story. An immigrant arrives from Greece, Japan, Romania, or Hong Kong and uses their heritage to solve a local problem. Sushi gets an inside-out makeover. Lamb becomes beef. Peanuts become a smooth paste. These aren't just recipes, they are the Canadian story of adaptation and community. Which of these surprised you the most? Tell us in the comments. And if you're going to start the pineapple pizza debate, prepare for a long fight. Stay curious. Subscribe for more.